The August holiday weekend was a major date in the All-Wheel Drive Club calendar during the 1980s. It was a camping weekend with trials, orienteering, competitive safari and evening entertainment. To create this event, many members contributed their time, skills and labour to set up the central facilities to sustain members and their families throughout the weekend. This programme, filmed by Brian Roberts, shows some of the background work that went into putting on the meeting in August 1983. An important facility was the toilet block, which Mike Wolfe organised. To make this work, a water supply and waste disposal had to be planned. In those days, mobile toilets with integral waste tanks were not available, so it was necessary to dig a deep pit to provide a solution. Providing a water supply was itself a major task. The nearest point where water was available was at the scrapyard 450 metres away along Longmoor Road. Brian Hall, Paul Davies and Dave Goddard organised this and arranged all the equipment. Their task was to provide a water supply to both the toilet block and standpipe for the use of those camping and also the caterer. As well as 450 metres of pipe, an assortment of fixtures and fittings were needed to make the connections and provide the taps. The route for the pipe had to avoid any points where vehicles needed to cross and damage the pipe.
So, well, I had a word, but she's all right now, like. But
is she? Do you want?
No,
she's go and see her, ain't she?
No,
Right,
she's
yeah.
Mate, look. We've got a tangle though, mate.
Meanwhile, back at Weaver's, floodlights were being rigged to cover the communal area around the marquee and control caravan, and additionally along the service road adjacent to the campsite, which stretched alongside the airstrip.
10 tables.
John Elsden, Dave and Tommy Buckingham were engaged in this task.
Dave, don't do any more, we haven't got enough cable.
We need to block both ends of that race, and I'm just tempted to try and come back out, right? The scruffy old ones.
A major feature of AWDC events was the club shop. New stock needed to be sorted and sales tables set up. Other tables and benches were also being erected in the communal area for meal times. Mick Boyd and David Roulson were arranging power feeds. Dave Shepherd and John Stevens were erecting the new start and finish banners. Keith Garrett was directing arrivals to the correct parts of the site. The caterer at this event was Bernie the Burger, who was stocking up for the weekend. An array of extra generators have been borrowed to provide power for lighting and entertainment. Back at the toilet trailer, Mike Wolfe is installing the sewage pipe.
Put hands on over the top.
Yeah, not until we finish here, but...
They'll never believe it, will they?
Dave Sarsfield-Hall was marking out the control area along with Barry Redman.
I wouldn't feel them making cock-ups, mate.
Hold it!
Another popular feature was the evening bonfire and barbecue pit. Stuart McCutcheon, Andy McIntyre and Lyn Softley were organising this, collecting dead wood from around weavers and depositing it at the designated fire location. Andy and Lyn were using Andy Sargent's racing Land Rover to collect the firewood.
Somebody's got to stay and guard it all night.
Do you want that box?
Don't show me a big fat belly too much, will you?
Around the site, fertiliser bags were being stapled to wooden stakes as rubbish bins.
I want to be able to see it while I'm working.
Makes a feature film with waste.
Yeah, something stuck in your ear, Dave.
Chris Foxell joins in to move the wood to the firewood pile. Mark, Linky Gardiner, organised and supplied the equipment and power connections for the evening entertainment.
Steve, where's that roll of bunting? Oh. Laurel says here, where is it?
Can you just give it around here, Al? Where's your roll these out the way?
Where do you want them?
That way, over there.
Okay, left boys, on the count of three.
We'll try this
Ball.
ball.
Yeah, after ball then.
Down. Right, well, stop. Too far. We'll let him out, Bush. Didn't find that go.
You have to be out of your mind. What?
Yeah, but that's why it's not going to be.
It's going to be lit about 4 o'clock.
Why is it about 4 o'clock? Then by sort of. Yeah, let's roll this one back.
There's a lot of people around.
Sort of knock the other magic.
The onboard generator in the safari tender was connected to the caravan to provide power for the communications, public address and computers used for timing and results.
Make use of that before the site gets too crowded. Obviously there'll be a queue there otherwise. Anyway, you can now draw water from down by the flushing toilets, which are now fully connected up.
Yeah. 4-6 to the control.
That's what? Hold that pipe. Will it keep turning on that?
By now the pipe had been laid and Paul Davies and Brian Hall were working on the standpipe connections.
Matt, come and get another one.
Got it? Yeah.
You ain't holding it.
Give it, have a go on it. Let me have a go. Still be
I'll break the screws off. And it'll probably rolling.
Let it off. Let it off. Righto, girls.
You animal.
It got me the most. No leaks, is there? Not even leaking down there, is it, Matt?
No lot.
You want to get back long enough. I'll do something enough. We'll have a look. I'll do it. We've got enough in it.
Bloody far, that'll break that wire out of there, surely. Well, close to it,
Tommy Buckingham and John Elsden were busy putting up the light string for the barbecue area outside the marquee. With the area now coming together, Stuart McCutcheon and Chris Foxell manhandled a barbecue fire surround into its final resting place. A model car race organised by Grant Malay was taking place in the woods south of the airstrip. This kept the youngsters occupied whilst the set-up work continued. The Weavers Down August holiday meeting was a great success thanks to the efforts of the dedicated team of organisers and well supported by All-Wheel Drive Club members. The Weavers Competitive Safari will be the subject of the next video programme.